Your video was paused due to poor connectivity. The image Facebook users are seeing isn't live. Okay, so there's obviously a delay. So you're going to screw everything up. So not in sync with the screening anymore. Apologies in advance or retrospect, I suppose, for any spoilers. I'm just going to push on from where we are. Might be a bit like that Two Ronnie's Mastermind sketch where the contestant answers the question before last, but it's not like I can get you all to tell me the time code. The Two Ronnies are the British Key and Peele.
No, in fact, we haven't. I'm sorry, apparently we've got to go straight back to Foxhill Drive where things are happening. Sarah?
From here, wasn't it? Did you hear? Yes, this way. You picking this up too? Let's put the light on. You're going to have to get it out with me. You alright? There's an alcohol down
They're
there.
just moving furniture and it's terrifying. See, we just had Kevin, comic relief from a winsome Welshman. The broader the comedy, the more sinister the segment that follows. And in classic horror tradition, he's the village idiot that we should have been taking seriously from the start. He's basically Crazy Ralph from Friday the 13th. Kids' pictures. There's a bunch of these in my house.
Kids' pictures weren't here before. I didn't know they had a cat. Did you?
Wow. I've never seen Pipes so vividly as I just saw him there. It's like you catch the light in the reflection in the door.
Children, come on.
No, Sarah, stay where you are, please. Sarah, stay there, please. Don't go upstairs.
Why?
Because we hear that Suzanne's got out of bed, but she's not yet appeared. She's not appeared on the landing.
Suzanne, where is she?
I always remember that horse on the windowsill.
Trust me, Sarah.
It's just the sort of chintzy crap that you'd have in your house back then. As if it needed to get more real.
Where?
Right in the center of the room. Go look up to the hall camera. No,
This is
sorry.
all the paranormal activity right here.
No, the landing on the door.
From London to San Diego.
Can we pan?
It's another coincidence, isn't it? I hadn't made that connection.
And down.
Ghostwatch came from London and was remade in San Diego as Paranormal Activity. Just like I moved from London to San Diego.
Suzanne, are you okay? You alright? Come on. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Oh, that's quite a...
Yeah, there's a hoax within the storyline of Ghostwatch. A hoax within a hoax
That's not
within a hoax.
Oh, come on, Dr. Peasley. Surely you've got to accept
No,
the
I
story
don't.
there.
Look, this is an established pattern. Genuine phenomena followed by the fakery stage when the children feel obliged to come up with the goods.
Doctor, really?
I'm sorry, because...
Well, I mean, after 8 months of commitment and committed work like you've been through, I can understand you feel upset because you've been duped.
You feel upset because you've been duped.
Doctor, really.
Please don't be simplistic. This is one incident amongst many, many dozens. I was there. I've seen them. I've seen inexplicable things.
Kind of rubbing salt into the wound so all those people who didn't get it first time round.
Let's not get sidetracked, please. Let's not lose the scent. Maybe there's a kind of ritualistic reason. It's like sympathetic magic, acting out what they want to happen, the invoking process that precedes the genuine appearance.
Doctor, before we get too involved...
First time I ever noticed the kids' pictures, first time I ever noticed Pipes in the window.
Sarah, Suzanne ability does.
Maybe I'll put those two things together, and that'll be the catalyst for the return of my own personal
Well, I think I'd like
demons,
to talk to her first of all, if you
my
don't
own
mind.
night terrors.
Suzanne, I'd like to talk to you. Did you
You're
put
still
the
watching
lights
along
on
at
in
home, you're
school?
probably getting the sense that things are starting to heat up now.
What about the noises on the wall?
I don't want to talk about it.
What about the scratches on your face, Suzanne?
Mum. All right, Mum.
This is BBC journalism at its best,
Susie.
castigating a young traumatized girl.
You didn't have to show them, not like this. Why? Oh, don't throw it on Susan. For one's sake, she doesn't know what she doesn't know anything. Do you know? We thought you'd leave us. I thought I'd leave you. Oh, we were noises to you.
This is where I should have stopped watching, that Ben Bourne's parents had yet to call
Only
it.
sometimes?
It was what you wanted, wasn't it? We just gave you what you wanted. Stop it.
Miss Early, you've heard your daughter. She's admitted the entire thing was a deliberate fraud.
No, I'm sorry, I don't accept that. Dr. Pascoe has seen and heard things same as me. You can't
But
just... Well, she's afraid, she's frightened, she doesn't
But
know
Suzanne
anything.
herself explained, Mrs. Early.
The eagerness that the BBC have here to write this all off as a hoax tells you everything you need to know about how Brexit happened.
Well, fortunately, after this turn of events, we're able to return to Dr. Miller.
It takes balls to have a hoax in a story while you're perpetuating a hoax.
Sylvester, I imagine you're about to say, I told you so.
Well, I don't get any vicarious thrill out of seeing parapsychology crucified in public, but it does validate my hypothesis.
Well, what hypothesis?
These are disturbed detention seekers.
Rubbish.
Well, you played into their hands. Primetime TV, Alice in Wonderland couldn't take it anymore.
It's one of the many ways, along with the stuff about children, where the film predicts in-world the fallout the BBC would get from this in the days to come.
Deliberately muddying the waters.
Well, Dr. Pascal, thank you. And Dr. Sylvester, thank you too for joining us from New York. Thank you and good night to you. A lot of activity in our film room. You won't be amazed to hear that after what we've just seen in Coxwood Drive. Mike Smith, what's happening? What's the story?
Well, the strange thing is that we're
You know,
still
viewers
getting
were very
calls
angry they
about
were
a
duped
shadowy
or
figure,
misled or made to
haunted
feel
bedroom, or
uncertain.
people think
I mean,
it's
tabloid
a
press
haunted
jumped on the story as
What's
viewers'
really good is
complaints
people
escalated,
carrying with the description.
just
They're all
like the
different
press
phone
do in
calls.
Ghostwatch.
They're generally all saying that it's an old man,
Relationship
or
to the
a
real
woman,
world's like an MC Escher
bald,
painting.
skull-like head, dark eyes, or some are just saying holes for eyes, wearing a black robe or a dress which is buttoned up to the neck.
The descriptions that the viewers are phoning in of pipes are way worse than anything you could come up with in makeup.
Tell me if it's possible to access the tape interviews I shot at the university, please.
I'm sure it will be, yes.
In view of what's happened, there's a sequence I need to find.
Yeah, they're saying they can get to it.
And there's also there's a whole genre of reality-based ghost hunting shows that are like this.
I'd like to hear your opinion on what we saw.
The viewers
in Foxwood.
call in sightings and they all tally. I mean, you know, for the same reason that viewers of Crime Watch would call into the show after they saw an actor who played a murderer in a reconstruction, but
Devonshire House. And,
the presenters then do what we just saw the girls doing, knocking on pipes and pretending to be ghosts.
Things, doors open, things fell off the wall, ornaments shattered, and generally it didn't have a nice feeling. My bedroom was in part of that house, part of that old part of the house, and shadows would move at the end of my bed. So I asked for a nightlight. I asked a grown-up, I think it was my grandmother, which made the situation worse in a way because, well,
I think I had to have a nightlight too. But, you know, we didn't have anything that sophisticated back then, so probably just a big bright lamp. I mean, I'm not unaffected. I'm still visited by whatever it is that visits me, but that's a far cry from mental illness and death.
The only one I got for you at the moment is this woman. Try her. She wants to remain anonymous, wants to take part of the programme, but insists on anonymity. Try her.
Okay, Mike, thanks, Dr. Pick. Hello?
Hello?
Yes?
Hello, am I on?
Yes, you're on BBC One's Ghost Watch. Now, what do you want to tell me about?
We've got this big glass table. My husband just rested one finger on it and it exploded. Glass everywhere. His face and hands were cut. There's blood on the wallpaper. The ambulance has just gone. My children are frightened. Why are you doing this?
Now, look, I'm sure your children are in shock. I also want to say I think it's high time probably your kids are in bed. I mean, just past the 9 o'clock watershed, isn't it?
So the 9 o'clock watershed was the daily deadline that program makers set on
I tell them to look
explicit
what
and
time it is.
disturbing content on
Don't show
TV.
9:30.
Excuse me, have all your clocks stopped?
I don't know what's going on. They won't take their eyes off the set. And there's blood. There's blood all over the wallpaper.
Look, it's Halloween. They're overexcited. You've had a terrible accident. Now, please, would you switch off the TV and please send your kids to bed? Thanks for calling us, but we've got to move on. Thank you, love.
No, don't.
I'm sorry, she's gone.
Listen, please, if you're still there. Don't touch anything. And if you can, take a photograph. Now, this is very valuable evidence.
I've got to say to everyone watching, please, we don't want to give anybody sleepless nights. We don't want to start panic. Don't let your imaginations run riot. These things we're talking about are very, very rare indeed. And the chance of them happening to you are exceedingly remote. Please believe us. Right, now I think that, Dr. Vasco, that tape you wanted, that interview you did some months ago with Kim Early, I think that's ready now. I think we can go to it's coming up now. There you are.
So have you ever seen him, Penny?
It's laying it on thick, you know.
And what's he look like? Can you describe him to me then? Well,
Exist. I'm joined